What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs, episode 90. Hey, we hit a milestone, 90. That's 10 away from 100. That's pretty crazy. I'm the only one that can celebrate the milestone because you guys had awful weeks. Awful weeks. We'll talk about both teams stumbling throughout the week. My team didn't play until today, so I didn't really have to worry about football to this point. I got to get really aggressively angry at the LA Galaxy. That's super fun. So I don't get a Scott's free week, but my team did make me happy. So I can't be too mad on this podcast. We'll talk about all the stuff that everyone's going to talk about this week, which is, are Chelsea in the mud? Do United have it locked up? And is the title race over? That's every podcast. If you haven't already seen a podcast about that, that's every podcast this week. So, yeah, let's kick on into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Clash of Clubs. I'm Dylan. They just got punched in the mouth. They didn't even know how to react.
That is one Derby Diamond.
I'm Mila. Do we want to do a little prediction? That was the last time they showed initiative to go get a fucking player.
City is still alive here. Balotelli. Aguero.
I'm Grant. They're talking a lot about you 15. How will you respond 15?
We downgraded from Peppa. Do you know how absurd that is?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Plug. We surpassed 350 subscribers this week. I think we're at 360. I could be wrong.
363.
Whoa, look at us. But as the ticker says on the bottom here, on the road to 500 before the World Cup. It is no longer at some point in the near future. Before the World Cup, we should be at 500 subscribers. I think that we make good enough content and content consistently for you guys. So if you're not subscribed, which I think is majority of our viewers, you should be. And you should get involved in the discourse. If you think we're morons, which we might be, based off of all of our takes this season and how correct they have gone so far, you could call us a moron in the comments, and I'll be okay with that. We'll at least respond. I can tell you that much. Well, the predicted counter, me and Mila got one. Grant, you got none. Your jinx didn't work on United. So that's kind of how this predicted counter has gone all year. Like, if you jinx United correctly, you have a good week. And if you didn't jinx them correctly, yeah. Boring. Dude, we haven't had a predicting in, I feel like, forever. It has to be forever. We've been way off. Like Paul George side of the backboard, way off.
Here, let's make things worse. Let's mention Paul George before even talking about my fucking team. Great.
We are an American podcast talking about soccer. I'm wearing a U.S. soccer cap. It's like I had to bring up one basketball reference here. It had to happen.
It's great.
And I'm sorry. It had to be. It's the only reference
of basketball players could have referenced.
I think that's the only one that everyone would have gotten. For that,
you guys know about Thon Maker.
Oh, Thon Maker. Well, and anyways,
you didn't think that was coming.
No, honestly, based off your response, I can kind of tell it in your tone, but it sounds like you're running out of energy, and it feels like Chelsea might be doing the same. So let's start there. Chelsea lost 1-0 at home to Newcastle. Before the match even started, we looked at the lineups and we went, "Wow, Newcastle are rotating because they have a big match in Spain against Barcelona in the second leg. I cannot believe they are playing a midfield 2 of 2 8s." And they went out there and for their goal, literally dog walked an entire midfield with the right back and then just threw on goal to one of their 8s. Where do you want to start with this? Obviously, you did your 5 things and people should check that out. That's a much better and more in-depth take on it. But where do you want to start this conversation?
I mean, just from a fan's perspective, like you said, I'm out of energy. I didn't even have the energy to get super angry after this game because as soon as they scored that goal, like you said, comically easy goal, one pass to break us open. You see the manager after the game, we press in a different way to most teams. Well, that didn't work. And then the rest of the game, it was just a nasty low block. A nasty, nasty low block. Maresca couldn't break a low block down. Pochettino couldn't break a low block down. Maybe it's the personnel that has trouble breaking down a low block. Maybe that's the problem. But at no point did I think we would equalize. We didn't show a single sign or threat any sense of urgency. I mean, sometimes if you have a half like that, and we got booed off as we should have. But even throughout the game, as soon as the goal went in, at no point did the crowd get behind us. It was just all around negatives. There was nothing positive to take. And, you might have thought, okay, there's nothing to lose. You're done with the Champions League. Focus in on the Prem and try to get some momentum going again. And just absolutely nothing. What a horrible performance. And coming out after the game, all these quotes from Rosigne, I feel like I've been somewhat optimistic with him lately. I mean, what the fuck is he talking about, dude? What is he talking about? I mean, saying we're third in the league since he's come in, no one cares, right? That table doesn't mean anything. And again, we talked about it. Is it all his fault? No, he walked into a shit show, but I just don't think it's a great look. I mean, the fucking huddle before the game with the referee, like, are we really getting mad about that? Why do you care about that? You should care a lot more about things that are going on during the 90 that can be addressed. I mean, I said it. I don't know why I was so optimistic going into the PSG game. I just thought they weren't that good. And however, I should have listened to myself. I think I said it after the Leeds game or the Burnley game, one of those shitter performances. With the personnel that we have, what should I expect? I don't think I should have expectations, and they continue to prove me right. So I have zero expectations anymore, which is incredibly disappointing given the signs we showed last season. It's just insane to me. Self-sabotage.
Yeah, the quotes after the game, and we've gotten on Arsenal for being performative. That was some loser shit. Like the whole gathering around the center circle is pretty fucking performative, and everything about that is performative. And we've been we literally have trashed Arsenal, and so I'm gonna keep it consistent here. Like everything he said in the post game, I was like, "You're being a loser," complaining about a foul that I don't think any of us really thought was much of a foul. Like it's that type of stuff where if you're in a race, and you just got fucking punched in the mouth at the midweek to a very good team that you've already proven you can beat. It just seems like you don't have anything to go off of from the actual performance itself. You don't feel you should have won, so you're looking for a release valve to get angry at someone or something. That the ref didn't call like an awful game. It went both ways, right? And it's
We
not
were
like
awful.
Newcastle not like Newcastle did anything to make you feel like, oh, this is some crazy performance. Like it was boring, and that's what Newcastle have done. They literally did it to United last week. They just keep themselves in matches. They did it against Barcelona. It's just I would be frustrated as a fan just because it feels like there's every excuse in the book other than we're just playing like crap. We're hurting ourselves. That's what we've done all season, but it's always been. This goes back to the board point. Like it's always pointing at someone different to blame. So why wouldn't the manager, who is clearly inexperienced in this whole thing, be not blaming someone else?
I think it's tough because, like Grant's saying, maybe the personnel is just not good enough. And when you're the manager and a young manager at that, you're not just going to start calling out all your players, especially young players, because this project's going to go nowhere if that's the case.
But is it even? I don't even necessarily think he needs to be calling out a singular person because I don't think that does anything. But I think that he can just acknowledge like we weren't good on the day. I need to be better if that's the direction, right? But he's so inexperienced.
Heard that already too. I feel like it's just like he's running out of things to say, and
then don't say anything. Maybe that's my
point. But like,
just don't say anything.
They can't win. I kind of feel for just all the managers at this point because they say nothing. There's headlines about it. They say something. There's headlines about it. He should just shut up. I do think that point is correct, but I'm not too hung up on the post game media. It's more so what I'm seeing on the pitch that's concerning. Off ball was terrible. We were talking about it mid game. Outside of Garnacho, Cucurella, and maybe Reece James. Everyone else was terrible off ball. And just their movements opening up for passes. And then on top of that, there's just no one to take accountability and take a shot. Maybe take the responsibility of just missing one at that. Like, at what, 70% possession,
For
67%
nothing.
possession,
For nothing.
and hardly any like actual shots.
Tried to
He
walk
just
the
took
ball when it
22
felt like.
shots, but 3 of those were on target. So yeah, I guess they just maybe got discouraged after getting blocked a couple times, but that cannot be the case, especially when you're trailing a game.
Sure.
Can't just put it on someone else's shoulders to take that shot when it's not going in. And I think also that movement comes to account too. You can't just stand there and wait for plays to develop. You have to make the play develop. So outside of Garnacho and Cucurella underlapping each other, I really didn't think there was any outlet other than Reece James beating 1 or 2 guys and then trying to get something off. But I think it got blocked the 2 times he tried it. The energy is the running out of energy is a great title for this because it seems like on both ends, the manager and the team, they're running out of energy. So this is why I brought it up originally, is that Rossinier is a new manager, but he's already running out of this energy in these press conferences. He doesn't know how to deal with them anymore. It hasn't been that long.
Yeah. It's the first time results have gone down. We always talk about it, right? Results always paper over everything. But even when we were on a good run, I said it was like something feels off. Unfortunately, we might have been right on that. And again, to your point, I think everyone can get blame. It's not like every single game it's someone else's fault. But I think multiple coaches of vastly different profiles have not agreed with our board and left as a result of it, right? Pochettino, Maresca, Tuchel, like 3 very different managers, all thought that the same group of guys were idiots. So I lean that way in terms of who we should be blaming, because for as annoying as some of these things that are being said in the press conference, again, you bring in an inexperienced guy mid-season to a club way bigger than anything he's done so far in his career. And it's the same personnel that we've been saying isn't good enough, right? Like, you look for a spark when you have a bad 45, right? Like, City haven't been starting Cherokee lately. He comes on, he gives you something. There's guys like Foden who've shown you in the past what they're capable of, right? We brought on Liam Delap. And I've run out of patience for Liam Delap, unfortunately. It's nowhere near good enough. The shots are wild, snatching at everything, just literally adding nothing when he comes on. And that's really disappointing, right? There weren't even that high of expectations for him. Good market value, young striker, English. I did not think it could be this bad. It's insane, man. It is insane. And the defense, don't get me started. Like you said, Dylan, watch the video. I already talked about that defense enough.
Yeah.
The lineup comes out and I'm like, damn, Chalobah Fofana. Mind you, the same lineup that just got dog walked at the Parc des Princes, that was absolutely exhausted and leggy. It's the exact same lineup less than 72 hours later. They looked very lackadaisical again. And who are the other defensive options, right? I wouldn't have been happy no matter what names are there. So again, we've handicapped ourselves going into the season, and these issues are coming back to bite us at the worst possible time.
Yeah, the one thing that I will add is a lot of the stuff that I've heard you say is very similar to what we were talking about earlier in the season with United. And not in terms of like the structure of the players, but more of just defensively you're not good enough, and so your offense has to score 3+ goals a game, right? That's what it feels like. Like, you're only going to win matches if you're scoring 3+ goals. And then on the flip side of that, every time your defense does put in a shift where maybe it's like this match where it's like 1-0, they're not putting away chances, that they're maybe creating some, the half chances aren't falling, and then you lose 1-0. And it's like you're not getting the rub of the green on either side of it. And to your point about running out of energy, you can tell that's starting to affect the players on the pitch. And for me, it's the person that it's affected the most this season, and it's been pretty obvious, is Cole Palmer. Like, it feels like he just can't get anything going, whether that's been injuries or just a run of form where he can be consistently ticking and going and moving. Like, he's played a couple of full 90s here.
It's been a year. It's been a year since he's consistently performed, right? Since he's been that guy. So that's disappointing. Again, I definitely think he's earned grace, but it's been frustrating, right? He's been all right at times, but the level that he introduced us to was a very high level. And I think obviously there's a burden on him. I'm sure he puts it on himself, but I still think this is a direct consequence of sacking a manager in the middle of the season. I think it took Maresca time, but he was able to understand the weaknesses in this squad and understand how to cover them up, right? And maybe it was less exciting going forward, but he was able to compensate for our back line, especially this year without Colwell. You saw he completely abandoned what we were doing last year to compensate for the personnel. And Rossignol, unfortunately, is a bit naive on that front. We always talk about learning on the job. Man, you got to learn quicker because these boys are not up to it. He calls them all world class in the press conference. I understand it's part of the game, but not even close, brother. Yeah, these guys are not world class. They are replacement level. A lot of them are replacement level. And I think Maresca figured that out, asked for more, got binned off. So it's hard to see the cycle going any other way because what coach can work with the mid, right? And if he can, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve in this game? So I don't know what you can achieve with this current personnel. Maybe we can scam an FA Cup. We haven't played a top level side yet. So at least maybe we can scam some silverware. But yeah, I'm out of energy. I'm not even excited for games coming up. I mean, I hope we turn it up. But again, with the personnel that we're running out, I don't have much hope.
Yeah, the floor has decreased as the season has gone on, and we've learned over the stretch of the season that the ceiling is not there if Cole Palmer's not there, right? So I don't know. It feels eerily reminiscent of kind of some of the stuff we've talked about, like with Foden in the past. It just fast tracked almost. Like Foden had more of a body of work in the beginning half, right? And so that's what made the dip in form so stark. But it's injury related, and those players are so momentum based to me. And this Chelsea side, I think, is just following suit. Maybe we're really not placing as much value in what Cole Palmer does from a ceiling raising perspective on this young. Look,
I just think our defense is shit.
I think he's very good, but I don't think that the surrounding cast is that great. And I think it shows up in important games. I've been talking about this, especially with one player, but I won't go back into it. But 2 big games. One against Newcastle, where you're fighting for your top 5 race, and we saw what happened. And then again, the rematch with PSG after claiming world champions off of them, and 5-2. Like, they can do the games with no pressure. This is classic young team, though. When a young team gets put under pressure, they crumble. Whether they're good enough or not, it's these moments that make it tough, especially when the ship's not steady. And I don't see anyone being able to pull them out of it on the pitch.
A lot of passengers.
Yeah, I think Reece is trying his best. Like, I'm seeing it, but again, we've talked about, I don't think he's enough, regardless of how much he tries. Yeah.
He also has
every day, Levi.
I feel like he hasn't been faultless in this whole thing too. Like
he's
been in there too.
So. PSG's fourth goal was unfortunately all him. He gets caught on the ball and then doesn't step. Kvara hits it, and then in this game too, right?
Not really sure
you want to blame in the middle. Garnacho is asking someone in the middle to pick up a runner. No one does. Your back line's not there. Yeah, no, no one is faultless in this team. That's why I think the last thing I'll have on this is you're seeing people say, oh, well, Caicedo's going to want to leave. Palmer's going to want to leave. They're not absolved of any blame. They play a part in why we're in this situation as well. It's not like it was maybe last year with Caicedo or 2 years ago with Palmer where they've just been faultless, right? Everyone's got a part to play here. And, we can talk about all day who's at fault the most, but at the end of the day, it's not enough.
Yeah. Collective issues. And they're all running out of energy. Well, I'm running out of energy as well when it comes to one particular topic, and it's this one. I don't know.
I'll be right back.
City dropped points to West Ham in a game just as ugly as that Chelsea one in terms of just the overall atmosphere. It just
I
felt like the team
want to.
got
I'm just gonna start right off that because my argument for that is it is nowhere near as bad on the players' part because I think they did all they could. I think this one, and Pep said we're allowed to criticize him now, so I'm going to do it. This one's on him. We played three attackers.
No, you played 3 strikers.
3 finishers. Not like regardless of what position you
Yeah.
want to call them, we have 3 finishers on the pitch. And then behind them you have Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and Nico O'Reilly. Not a single one of those guys is a creator. They can dictate tempo, all 3 of them, very well. But none of them is a creator. We have 1, maybe 2 creators on our team outside of Doku, who's a winger, and who's also wasn't playing. Cherokee needs to play. That's the main issue for me. We have the answer, and that's why it's more frustrating. We don't have a problem if there's a solution. The solution's there. We just don't use it. And that's the most frustrating thing for me. In both this game, in the Real Madrid game, and I think Rodri had a questionable games at time during the West Ham game. And we have a solution to that as well. And he's gone missing. And I don't think that's any fault of his own. I think that's selection issue. Both of these guys also are fighters. Like they'll die for the badge. And they haven't been here that long. So that says a lot to me about their character and where we can go if we use them. Nico G literally saved us with a goal line clearance about a week ago. And Cherokee's been doing his thing all season when given the chance. And yes, there's some downsides to that, but I also think Nico G can cover up for a lot of Cherokee's weaknesses, which we saw early in the season when Rodri was coming back. Pep wants to claim that it's not sustainable, or it's I don't remember the word he used, but it's not stable. And I agree with most people where I don't care. We were winning games. Holland was firing. Cherokee was firing. Foden was firing. Doku was often on running. Like, I don't see how that could be worse than drawing with 2 relegation teams.
Yep.
And also just taking 3 to Real Madrid. Like, that needs to be talked about in the grand scheme of things, because that definitely affected this game and the thinking. Now it's 3 games now that we've dropped points or not won. All competitions. And then we're going into Real Madrid at home, a cup final, and then a leg with Liverpool. There's only one solution for me, and if it doesn't happen, then I can only blame Pep. If we don't play Cherokee, if we don't play Nico G, then I can only blame Pep for it. Because to me, the players, the difference between the Chelsea game and the City game was the players were running. They were actively moving off ball. There was just no creativity. No one had the mind to put a ball through or get the actual pass off. Where, like, Bernardo Silva looked like one of the best players doing it. And that's an issue. They were looking to shoot, but the finishing wasn't there. And that's kind of been the case for a while now. If Semenyo wasn't firing, then we have an issue. Nico O'Reilly missed some chances. Holland missed some chances. It's the same old shit. And I just have to wait for him to play Cherokee. That's when the game kind of changed, is when he came in.
Yeah. I don't know. The summary of the match for me was you guys had 24 shots, and the one that wasn't supposed to be a shot went in. And it was against a West Ham team who have been better of late. I'm not going to act like they've been shit, because they haven't.
That goalie's also pretty good. I will give it to him.
Hermanson?
Yeah.
He was pretty
right.
bad at the beginning of the year, got benched, but now he's starting again. So I think maybe he's been better since coming back.
Yeah.
In that game, was he good? I wasn't able to watch a City.
I mean, I
was.
think he's probably
Was.
just been better with the change of form from West Ham. I'm sure just the overall trajectory of West Ham was
It's all
affecting that.
Disasi,
But
isn't it?
Spencer's form has gone up. He's been very good, and he was also very good yesterday. It's not an excuse though. We still need to put more past him. We had plenty of opportunity to.
Agreed.
And that's my point about the finishing. It wasn't that we didn't create any chances. It's that if we're going to be so wasteful with our finishing, then we need someone that's going to churn out chance after chance after chance. And the only player that can do that right now is Cherokee and Doku, I think. Doku's already trying. Doku's trying to do all he can, but no one's getting on the end of those.
Yeah. So, for as complimentary as we were of Haaland maybe 3 weeks ago, I have seen nothing from him the last 2 weeks to make me feel anywhere good enough about how he's playing and everything that he's led up to this playing. Like, look, he deserves a ton of blame in my opinion because he's not putting away the chances. He doesn't look involved. And on the weekends, he's doing Sadman videos. And that's a bad look. Like, as much as I like to consider that like cool and fun and awesome, but look, you're in a title race. You play for one of the biggest clubs in the entire country. I don't see any other big teams doing that. Like they do like their Sunday football thing, and that's a Sky thing, right? That's forced. He did not have to do Sidemen Sunday. That wasn't that was a choice. You know what I mean? And I just feel like his head maybe isn't completely in it to the running out of energy thing. He's felt like that for ever since he had to put the team on his back for the first 4 months. It kind of feels like he's just not had it. And the numbers aren't lying at this point. Like, what's the stat? He's got 2 non-penalty goals in like 14 matches.
17.
Yeah, since the start of the new year, it's been terrible.
You're a team that's reliant on Haaland. Like at the end of any team that had Erling Haaland would be reliant on Erling Haaland. And so if he's not putting away the chances, you guys are obviously going to hurt. And that's kind of what it's felt like. You've needed someone, to your point, like this is where Aguero would turn it on and just be a scoring machine. Haaland hasn't been that. And I feel like
that's the main thing. Haaland is an elite finisher of the football. He does not create his own goals. There's been glimpses where he does it. But Aguero would take the ball, he would dribble 5 United defenders and fucking wallop it top right corner, front post. Like, that's not Haaland. We're not going to get that from Haaland. The closest thing we had to that, I think, was Alvarez. Marmoush is also some similarities. But we just don't have that anymore. This is why the Alvarez thing was like, yes, we got a lot of money out of it, but it hurt a lot because that profile was very reminiscent to what I've seen growing up. And as much as I love Haaland, like if he doesn't have a creator, then we're not getting anything.
But that's not true. He's still getting chances in matches. He's just not putting them away at
his rate. They're not great chances. Where yes, he should be doing a little bit better, but they're not like he's trying to make something out of nothing. It's basically creating his own shot, which I'm saying he can't do.
I don't know. There's been a ton of chances this season, and especially through this run-in where I'm like, you're missing the Haaland. That's the whole point. That's what makes Haaland is that he puts away those chances. Right, so we can't move the bar down just because
he's always missed a lot of chances.
He's always missed a lot of chances. This is why we needed a TDB.
Not at this rate, though.
He just played with Kevin De Bruyne. I do think that's understated. Obviously,
this is the whole point. My whole Cherokee point is like it's a different
Mila.
You
played with 3 forwards that Marmoush, Semenyo, Haaland. Those are finishers. Those are guys who want to get on the end of chances. And yeah, there's not a creative bone in anyone's body with the midfield 3 behind them and those 3. I think Cherokee's really the only profile, right? Maybe Doku too, like you said. But yeah, Haaland definitely needs to be better. I agree. But I also think throughout the entire season, I would kind of lean towards Mila's point of thinking where you don't have that creative person to funnel him chances. Because again, he's always missed a lot of chances. He's also scored a lot of chances. The whole thing was there's lots of chances ending at his feet, at his head, whatever you want to say. So
yeah,
I just
I just feel like we're letting him off the hook for a player of that.
We're not letting him off the hook. I already did a whole video about how he needs to be better, but also they need to help him be better. Pep has talked about this. You can't just expect him to what?
It's the length of time for me now that's starting to. So it's not
just Cherokee, but look at the stats. Like Cherokee hasn't played in that length of time. He's been sat on the bench. Why?
Look, we talk about
Like,
this
what-
all
why?
the time when it comes to Pep. Like, there's a reason he does everything. So why isn't Cherokee playing? I
Okay,
think that's
but
the
it's
question
not
that I
like we're
want.
in
I wish I could pick his
some
brain.
killer form right now. That can be said when we're performing fantastically. We're not. We're undefeated in the league, but a lot of those are draws, and a lot of those are drop points and missed opportunities to go to the front of the league. So if you want to play reserved and then you want to ask questions, like I don't give a shit. Like Cherokee needs to fucking play. And to the point about Holland, like I get what you're saying, but a lot of them are half chances. They're not real fucking chances. Whereas Cherokee would put it on a plate for him, and that like he's gonna finish those 99% of the time. Whereas like if it's a shot rifling in from Doku and it's coming into his right foot and he's taking it with his left. This is an example from the West Ham game. Like he might not get great connection, and even if he does, there's a chance the goalie saves it. It's not the area he's normally in to score goals. And I understand, like you could say that's letting him off, but also we have a profile of a player, play to his strengths. How many times did he get played through on goal? One time, one fucking time, and it was out to the left. It wasn't even towards goal. He had to run to the left of the box. So we don't play on any of his strengths and expect him to produce. Like that's not fair either. This is why I was so proud of like his movement and his involvement off the ball, because he literally had to do that to get involved in the game because we're only spamming and shit crosses to him. And Doku, like, if he's not the target, there has to be a runner behind him. In the Real Madrid game, Savio is just fucking standing there static. So I can't put all the blame on him for not scoring goals when the opportunities are half-assed and not good enough. And again, it's frustrating because I do think we have someone that can just change it like that. And he's not playing.
No, I look, I get it from a creative standpoint. You guys definitely need a creator in there, and I agree. Cherokee should play. Maybe it's just I expect a lot out of Holland just because we all know his talent level, and I just from this stretch of running, like that amount of goals for any striker is not acceptable. It really isn't. So I just place some level of like when we were talking about Palmer and him being the ceiling raiser there, like he's your ceiling raiser. And if he's not firing at all cylinders, like where is to the idea of the title race, like if he doesn't get started, it is over.
I get that, but also we had two other finishers on the field in this game.
Sure.
That's the whole that's the whole point of playing that many finishers on the field. If he's not firing, one of them needs to fire. If none of them are firing, there's a fucking problem systematically. Or with the players. Because none of them fucking did shit in terms of actually finishing. Holland's chances, he had one actual chance, I think, and I think it was with his cock.
Yeah, he did. He did get it.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah.
And then after that, he rifled one at Mavropanos out of pure anger, which I would like to see more because I think that's when he's at his best, is when he's angry, which is a tough thing to say because no one should be in that state all the time.
Bro's the Hulk.
But when he steps onto the fucking pitch, he should be playing angry, especially at this point in the run-in. And I guess after like fucking 18 minutes, we could finally get to the topic of the conversation. And is the title race over? No, I'm gonna say no. I think most other City content podcasters, anyone affiliated, will say it's over. Again, I don't say it's over until it's over. I do think we're standing on our last leg, though. If we don't fucking shape up, we honestly have to win out and hope that Arsenal drop a game. Because we technically can still win it. It's 9 points, right? We have a game in hand that makes it 6 points. We beat them by more than 2 goals, let's say. Then they drop one more game, and there's a goal difference talk maybe. This is all very hopeful. And I'm not saying we're going to win it. I'm just saying it's not over and done for me. There's still a lot of game left. And momentum can change like a motherfucker. So if we somehow bring the energy on Wednesday and can win going into that, bring up the energy going into a cup final on the weekend, try to humiliate Arsenal in the cup final, like a lot of things can happen towards the end of the season. So that's my thinking, that it's not over. It's not looking good though by any means. This is not me saying
Yeah.
Arsenal are going to bottle it still, but there's a chance. So I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, statistically, it's not over. I've been consistent about moments and winning moments and having those moments. For me, Arsenal got their moment. That game against Everton was the moment, and it just everything about it was.
Goal?
No, the fact that they could not get anything going in a match, and then in the 90th minute, we saw this all the time with those City teams. Just get over the line, and they did it. And then on top of that, to do the Diamond goal, like that's fucking cool. First of all, like
it's a cool moment for the guy. The goal was okay. Like the goal, there was no goalie. The goalie was out. there was no defense.
No, but he's 16. Like it's still a ridiculous
Cool
moment.
moment.
And
Exactly.
he also created the first goal. And so for me, it's not even just like it's not a points thing. I just think the running is so shit here that they would have to have an epic collapse. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. The points tell you
that's
but,
I think that's where that Carabao Cup final tie comes in. And I've been saying this for weeks. Like that's a huge momentum game for both teams. If you can get a trophy over the other team, like that can be a crumbling moment in their season.
Yeah.
If they beat us, that could be a title defining moment in their season. They're going to have all the energy in the world if they can bring a trophy in. Or maybe it could make them complacent because they picked up the Carabao Cup. But we don't know what's going to happen, but a lot can happen due to that fixture. And I think a lot of pundits are even saying it like a lot rests on that. And we've made it so much less stressful for them, I think, leading up into it with the drop points in the past 2 weeks. But it's still going to be a title-defining moment, I think.
I sit here, and it's not even an Arsenal thing. I think they're at a baseline level of consistency every week where their defense is really that good in terms of just keeping the ball, giving them a chance in any match, where I feel more confident in saying that City will drop another game than I do saying that Arsenal will drop another game.
That's very fair.
That's kind of where I'm at.
The thing is, like, again, like I think we can fix our issues. So that's why I'm not too down in the dumps. But also I have no control. We as fans have no control over what lineup gets played, what style of football gets played. So I have to hope that Pep Guardiola can get it right, which is not bad if you're a betting man. I feel like that's not the worst of cases. So yeah, I'm kind of just in Pep's hands for the rest of the season. This was a terrible week though, in terms of footy watching. Lost in every aspect. Either distance on the race or actual losing for the LA Galaxy.
Yeah, fuck. Miserable football team. Fucking hell. Stupid. Grant, you got anything on this, or you get?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, we'll move on.
I'm already I'm working on coping mechanisms. I'm thinking about. I got a few different plays in the works.
Cool. Yeah, I'm actually interested what you got cooked up. Other than like the obvious ones that I think most people are going to play with. I'm curious.
Ankle weights pool.
Ankle weights pool. I was the only person who didn't have that type of week. The ankle weights in the pool. Rebound Reds. Rebound Reds. We didn't play for forever, and then we played our biggest game of the season, which is every game for the rest of the season because it's UCL or bust. I've been on that for 3 months now. And look, they played great. I thought the first half was exactly how we talked about in our preview, which was you had a team playing on Thursday and you had a team that hadn't played in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And that met in the first half where both teams were kind of just there, wasteful, kind of weren't placing well passes. And it just was kind of ugly. Towards the end, I thought United turned it up a little bit and that carried over into the second half. And then that second half, from a neutral's perspective, I assume it was a good watch because it was pretty back and forth, which we talked about that in the preview. That's where United shine in that chaos. Villa are proper shit.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about them after the Rebound Reds. I forgot to put the title thing in here, but From a United perspective, I mean, it feels pretty comfortable at this point. I'll let you guys talk about the match, and then I'll say my thoughts after, because you can just look at my 5 things.
No, I didn't watch the match.
Oh,
Yeah,
Brent,
I watched some of it. Yeah, I mean, to your point, Villa sold me fucking dreams. So yeah, I think they stink. But at the same time, this whole race to me, these 4 teams fighting for 3 positions, it's which team's going to be the least shit. Like, I know we're not talking about it today, but that Liverpool Spurs game, I mean, what a horrific football match, right? Just from every aspect. Quality wise, just not good. And like you said, in these sort of just like, yeah, fuck it games, like that's when United kind of shine. They're the types of players that they have, right? You're not looking at them thinking, okay, Cunha's going to be in zone 14 and we're going to have no, like it's just an open game when you have guys just platform to pick up the ball and make something happen. Like that suits your team. And yeah, it took you a little bit of time to get into the game and get the cobwebs off and all that. It was almost like an international break, but yeah, once you're able to dust that off and kind of get into the flow of the game, especially a team like Villa who will give you that platform to do so. Yeah, he took care of business. Ross Barkley, I thought was good, by the way. Shout out Ross Barkley in his first start of the year. Their midfield's been absolutely decimated. I think John McGinn coming back adds a lot of intangibles for them and really helps Villa do what they do. But yeah, Morgan Rogers wasn't great. Buendia wasn't great. Ollie Watkins, again, nothing. Tammy wasn't much better, but at least I think he was more of a threat. But again, it's which team's going to be the least ass. Because as for what I'm saying about Villa and Liverpool drop points to Tottenham, I don't think we're much better either. So I think out of these 4 teams fighting for these spots, United are definitely, who would have thought, the most competent of the 4.
Yeah, I was going to push back on that ass point. United have just been a good team since Carrick has taken over. And like we've spent 10 games almost here debating if they're a good team under him.
Definitely just the least ass of the 4. Definitely.
Well, it's not even the least ass
separated from the other 3.
About the least ass of the entire Premier League, because they've been the best team in the Prem since he's taken over. And that's my point, is like they've just been a good team. They have their low moments, but they've been a good team. And so like it's a weird spot that everyone finds with United because they aren't playing a ton of games. So it's kind of like those.
I think that's the advantage.
Yes, but that was the whole COVID.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Like,
yeah,
it's a major advantage not playing midweek. We've seen it though. When United have to do that midweek, they struggle.
Yeah, but they don't have to do that.
No, they don't have to do that. But
in the context of the season, they're cool.
Yeah, that's their major advantage going forward, is that they're not in these competitions. I do think as we go on a little bit, there will be a little bit of a leveler. Some of these teams are not going to be competing in all available competitions going forward.
Sure.
Maybe as soon as Wednesday. So it's all how they react to that, though. I think you guys also just have momentum, whereas the other teams have downward momentum right now. Literally all of them. You're the only one going up, so it's like a little elevator. You're just waving to them on the way, passing each other.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you know what?
You guys have been good.
I want to go into an analogy direction. I do want to go
into
an analogy direction. That was good, Mila. It's almost like Liverpool, Chelsea, Villa are all just going down on the escalator, but you guys are just chilling on the second floor. You're like, why are you guys all going down? So, like, if anything, you guys are going to take the stairs up, take your time, slowly get better, right? Go up. But
yeah.
Man, it's all relative. Everything is relative. And like you said, Dylan, you don't have to play 3 times a week this year. So it really doesn't matter in the context of this conversation. Yeah, I think you're comfortable. I think it's sorted. There are question marks regarding how deep the squad is, all that. Doesn't matter this year. I think you're totally fine. I think you could start planning for Champions League next season. Start looking at some managers. I think it's that comfortable.
Yeah. It feels like
they need to plan is the thing. Like, you can't just be like, oh,
I have no faith in their board. I think they're idiots.
That's the main issue. Is what I'm worried about if I was a United fan, is that we are pushing for Champions League right now, but we have to be ready for that going into next year, or the same issues from the past are going to arise. Obviously, different manager, whatever, different energy around the club, but the current team cannot go into Champions League football season the way
No.
it is, and I don't think it will. There's obviously going to be changes, but I do think it's going to be a little more like work needs to basically be done in the next couple months leading into the transfer window, so that you guys are able to build throughout the preseason and into the new season with
You need
however
multiple
many players.
defensive midfielders need to come in, right? Casemiro's gone. Ugarte's not playable at all.
No,
So
he's
that
gone
needs
too.
to be addressed. Bruno's phenomenal. I would imagine he stays. So maybe you don't need cover for him. But yeah, there's you need wingers. You don't have any wingers. So we'll see. There's work to be done. There's definitely work to be done. But yeah, this year, sorted.
It's funny because while everything from a perspective with the media and like some of the back house staff stuff has been awful, because it has, none of the signings were awful. So I actually feel
No,
decent about like
they were good signings. Yeah,
right, and it just under them in general, like they've been decent. Like some of them have been hurt, but at least the signings have been decent. To like, I don't feel bad about that. My biggest concern is what they do with the manager position.
Mhm.
Personally, I don't even know what to do with it because look, Carrick's put himself in a spot where he absolutely deserves to be in that running. And I sent you that list of managers that are in the race. I can't sit here and tell you that any of them are better than him currently at that job. Like I just can't. Like Nagelsmann is the only guy that I look at and I'm like, I think he can do that. I'm not convinced, but I think he can do that. And the rest of them, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I find issues with everyone else. So where they go with that, how much due diligence they do in that, I hope they're already doing it. Would be my hope.
I think I don't know. It might just
I
be.
hope it's Poch.
It won't be.
It should be
already out.
Carrick, in my opinion. I think the momentum that he's building, and also the fact like the system seems to be working under him. You're going to bring in another manager with a new ideology. It could be square one all over again.
Yeah.
He also might not be ready for 3 games a week as a manager
true. That's
in
very
terms
true.
of being able to balance these competitions at that level because the championship schedule is really busy, but the stakes are nowhere near what they are at Man United. So
You can
lots of
give
questions.
him the tools,
'Cause
though.
It is
the
a good
main-
feeling right now at the club, and I don't think that's been there for a while. Just the overall sense of calmness and like you're not as worried about it. He gets it. We hear all these buzzwords, but in this instance, it's been a big help in sort of stabilizing things. So that's it's hard to really measure how important that's been. So
we talked
a
about
lot of questions. I'm excited to see what they do because I
in
hope they
the
mess it up.
beginning with Chelsea, we talked about Rosenior and the statements that he made. Even after a game where they lost with, down a man, he still said everything right. And to your point about him knowing, that's the one thing he has over every other manager that's going to come in. You don't get that punched in the face. This club is bigger than I thought. Because that's what every single manager since Sir Alex Ferguson has left. It's been, oh shit, this is a bigger deal than I thought. Carrick understands it. He's been there before. He's played for the team. I think that gives him that leg up. I think I'm leaning in that direction too, just because if we're looking at the trajectory of the team, right? This year was get them back to UCL. He has single-handedly since taken over done that. Maybe the bar was so low that this is the current bar, but then really realistically next year, are we saying that United should be competing for the league? No. Like that shouldn't be the totem pole. It should be UCL again and competing on 3 fronts. So I think that if you give Carrick, like Mila was saying, the tools that at least you can know, what's the worst that happens? You start that cycle a year later. Look, the United shouldn't be in a spot where they're do or die, live or die with that. That we've talked about that all year. So I don't know. His resume and body of work tells me he should get the job. I think it's like 11 wins in 12 or something.
But what does Paul Scholes think?
Yeah, dude, all those United ex-players that are fans. I saw Roy Keane talking about it after the game. Like the dude literally last week said that he's not a fan of United. Yeah, they're making money. They're making money. All right. I this was a sour episode, but I'm still gonna hit it. You know what I mean? Like
I'll always get excited for extra time.
yeah, extra time is the best time. So we're gonna do it for both of your teams, but 90 minutes is a long time at. Where do we want to start?
I think I'm
I don't
more
have shit.
optimistic. So maybe
I
let's
don't have
start
shit.
with
Let's
Chelsea.
get this out the way.
Yeah, let's start with 90 minutes is a long time at Stamford Bridge. Is
Yeah,
there
right.
any?
For us. I mean, you did you watch any of our game? Like our fans
I
are absolutely
watched the
miserable.
whole
And again, rightfully so. I think there's a million reasons to be frustrated. Like I think I said it on my video, but like I'm halfway across the globe and I'm pissed off. So like I get that. But man, like boo at halftime, boo at full time by all means. But from the point Newcastle scored till the final whistle, it was just negative. It's so negative. It's a really dark spot right now. I think it would take an early goal to maybe get something going. I think the Bridge has shown in games like this it can get up, but man, I have zero optimism because what lineup are we running out with? I'd be more excited to see like just Josh play, right?
give them
What
some
are we
experience.
doing? I have no idea. I have no idea. Neto's not suspended. Oh, yeah, it's dark, bro. It's really dark. Just get this fucking tie over with and move on and qualify for the Champions League next year because you're already making that look like a stretch. So, I mean, you go into this with fucking energy, right? Nothing to lose, but you can embarrass yourselves very quickly with the quality PSG have. It doesn't matter how bad they've been this season because they have been. As soon as that game ended last week, this game was on their mind. They have been training for a week straight for this game. So they will be ready. So don't embarrass yourselves is really my only hope. I mean, of course it can happen. Of course we can come back. Anything can happen in this sport. But I would be fucking shocked. I can tell you that much. And I expect nothing. Hopefully I have meetings that day.
Yeah, but my answer was gonna be a small miracle.
Small miracle we lose this tie by 2 on aggregate.
Yeah, small. Look, the way
Because
the
we
fact-
can score 3 goals. We can.
Mhm.
We can definitely
That's what I
score
was
3
gonna
goals.
say.
There's no chance those defenders keep a clean sheet. There's 0% chance. I
And
hope
the
Jorgensen's small
miracle
groin
is you
injury
guys
lasts until
not
the end of the season. That would be another miracle. But the fact that that was the cop out, by the way, for not starting him, that pisses me off too. I wish I would have seen Jorgensen on the bench and the manager say, I got it wrong. But no, he has a small injury, which is why we get to drop him. So I thought that was also soft. But yeah, I have zero hope going into this game. I mean, you already threw away the tie by starting Jorgensen. It's over.
So, just one bit of housekeeping. Did Gusto come off for injury reasons in this last Newcastle match, or was that tactical?
He was probably doing some stupid shit if I had to guess. I don't remember off the top of my head. I don't think he's hurt, but yeah,
my point was
wasn't
going to
good. He
be
came
is
off at half to try and attack. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are going to have the power to do it. Your entire right side just played back-to-back full 90s. That
Not
told
good
me
ones either.
No, but that told me exactly what this next tie meant to the manager, because there's no way Reece James and Cole Palmer are playing another 90. Right? Like there's just no way that happens. They haven't done that since when? To say they're going to do it 3 games in a row sounds
One of my
ludicrous.
career modes.
Yeah, same with Fofana. So your whole right side is just not going to play in the next game and you expect to win?
Yeah, bro, fuck it.
It's
Throw Achapong
maybe
in. You know what I mean? Like this tie is over. This tie is over. I mean, I think that you do that to yourselves when you're in a game for 75 minutes and then hand another team 3 goals away from home. That's what you deserve, right? Kind of said it on my video about if we don't qualify for Champions League, it's what we deserve. We fully got what we deserved in the first leg by setting up the way we set up and putting that fucking goalkeeper in. I mean, you single-handedly threw away a tie. I hate blaming one player for one thing, but what a horrifically dumb decision to make that has cost us this tie. Even at 4-2, I thought there was still a chance. But not only to concede those goals, but to concede those goals in the manner that we did. And I almost forgot about it. Jorgensen did it again and got bailed out by an offside call. Like, it was horrific. They absolutely capitulated. And I think, man, it's just infuriating because I think I saw the clip floating around of it was during the group stage draw. And they were asking Robert Sanchez who he wants. And he said PSG, so they have no excuses this time. And they took that man out of the lineup. We talk about how little Chelsea have any leadership and accountability. Robert Sanchez is one of the guys in that locker room who will hold his hands up. He is a leader there. And I mean, it was, I think the West Ham game, we were getting peppered at halftime and the fans are yelling at him and he's saying back, hey, We got 45 minutes. Like, he is a good presence in the back line, on and off the field. And to put that timid fucking deer in headlights in between the net, oh my God, man. Like, again, I have no hope.
Yeah, I don't either. We're not even gonna do predicties for these. It's not worth it.
No.
It's really not. It's really not. And that's where we'll stop with Chelsea, because I don't think any of
Good.
us. I don't have an argument to say how you guys are gonna even do it.
No, yeah, I think you guys are great, Grant. Yeah, come on, move it.
I don't
What we
have
got,
an
Mila?
argument.
What we got,
Yep.
Mila?
Mila, 90 minutes is a long time at the
90 minutes is a long time at the Etihad.
at the Etihad.
We have every opportunity to go and try to do something in this game. I don't really have an expectation that it'll happen, but for me to roll over and say it's done as they're coming into our house is foolish, because I've seen what our fans can do on a night like this, and I do think they can then raise the level a little bit. But it also, again, it comes down to what we were talking about earlier with Pep. He needs to play the right players. If we bring the energy.
Before you continue there, I'm just curious. So, in terms of playing the right players, obviously we just saw 3 strikers. Are you obviously Cherky, but who else are you bringing into the lineup that would help that cause in terms
I'm
of
honestly like
grinders?
No. The Reitner's coming in as early as he did was crazy in that game.
Yeah.
So
is it just as simple as Cherky and Nico G?
I think so, honestly.
And just
I
letting
think
everyone else go into
to
place?
the point, like they're not at their fullest. Like, you don't need to respect them as much, and I think that was part of the issue with last game, is we put too much respect on their name. After the 15 minutes where we were rifling down crosses down at them, like they calmed down a bit and they took a little more control in the game. It's almost like we were trying to catch them off guard, where I don't think that necessarily needs to be the case. This isn't their top tier team where they can go head to head with us if we're playing our footy. And I think that's where it was lost a little bit. We tried something new, and it almost worked, but to the point that it didn't, and they adapted, and the game went the way it did at home for them. We need an early goal. I think Haaland shouldn't play, honestly. His track record against Madrid isn't fantastic. Against Rudiger isn't fantastic. So I do think Marmoush, at least he shouldn't start. So Marmoush should start. Nico G in the midfield with Rodri, I think it controls the midfield on its own. Like, you can afford to push a little more guys forward and have Nico O'Reilly roam from time to time. So play him as one of the 10s. Or just play a midfield 3 of them and have our wingers tuck in a little bit and play Cherky and Semenyo with Marmoush. Something along those lines. I think he overthought the first leg, in my opinion. I think, honestly, that midfield 3 should have dominated. It would have dominated in the first fixture. And I think Valverde would not have the free roam to did what he did throughout the first half. I mean, he scored a hat-trick. What a hat-trick. But also, Nico O'Reilly was a little off guard on the first one. And again, in a position he hasn't played in a while, a couple months. Ait-Nouri's been really good defensively, offensively, speed, strength. Like, he should. I honestly think he would have been able to take care of something like that. It wasn't a crazy ball by any means. It just caught O'Reilly off guard, positioning-wise, maybe even just body positioning. And then also, like, just physicality in the midfield. We would have had way more. Instead, we had Bernardo and hold on. It was Bernardo and it was Savio, Doku,
Rodri and Bernardo.
Rodri.
Yeah. And Semenyo played up top.
Oh yeah, 2 strikers.
It's just a pivot.
Whatever he's experimenting with Semenyo also needs to be stopped. Playing him as the striker for the first time against Real Madrid doesn't make sense. Playing him at the 10 against West Ham doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And that was the main thing we talked about pre-game, was that Semenyo's touch will let him down if he's utilized in that way. It's let him down for 2 games in a row now. and we're not utilizing our players' best attributes.
That's
And
fair.
we talked about that with Holland already, but now that we're breaking it down a little more, it just seems like we're doing that all over the fucking pitch.
It's true. Kusanov
Kusanov
played
needs
right
to
back.
play. Yep, Kusanov needs to play
Like,
fucking center back.
yeah.
He saved us against West Ham. To be honest, West Ham probably should have won that game if Kusanov wasn't playing. If Diaz was playing, they would have won that game comfortably. He saved our asses on multiple occasions, and he could have done that even in the fucking Real Madrid game. That first goal, like O'Reilly does lose his footing. He's off his position a little bit, but Kusanov has the recovery pace to catch up in that situation if he's not tasked to be on the other side of the fucking pitch. So it's I don't know. It's hard to question Pep. I try not to do it that much. He tends to make us look like fucking idiots when we do so. But this is 2 games in a row where questions are raising. And all I can hope is that he gets it right for the next slate of games, because the next 3 are fucking brutal games.
They're brutal.
And he can't afford to get them wrong. There's going to be a lot of lights on him in the next 3 fixtures. And it'll change the course of the season. Let's be honest. If we get knocked out the Champions League, and then we don't get a result on the weekend, and then we go into that Liverpool game with our heads down, like it can go out of 3 competitions basically in the span of 10 days.
Yep.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. The way things are going, I'm not seeing the mentality that we talked about earlier in the season on the pod. I don't know where that has gone, because I think that was where a lot of this title charge was coming from. And it all seems to just disappeared almost overnight. So, yeah, I think Cherokee and Nico G can bring that passion, that fire that was once brought from like Diaz and Rodri. Those guys are still there, but we need a little bit of young fire, the guys that can do it themselves, take the ball and drive forward and make it happen themselves, rather than the people that are just trying to keep the head screwed on for all the other players.
Yeah, I mean, look, Shotman, in his most optimistic way, told us how Real Madrid would win, which was 1, Pep overthinking it, and 2, Freddie Valverde being the best player on planet Earth. That both were correct, and that's why it was 3-0. Like if you're looking for a sliver of hope as a City fan, it's that literally you were beat by a one-man team. Like in the opposite way that we were talking about Jorgensen, you got beat single-handedly by one dude. Like even Vinny missed a pen. This tie should be over. Right? Donnarumma makes a pen save. At home with the pen to make it 4-0, and
he's had his 2 worst games of the season, also back-to-back games.
Oh yeah, that the goal against West Ham was poor. We didn't even talk about that, but
It's very bad. And yeah, questionable decisions against Real Madrid.
Yeah. The 2 things that have been highlighted in his games as weak points both came to fruition in those 2 matches, which was like claiming on crosses and then decision making when he's got to step out of the box. Both happened. He got burned on both, but look, he's been great.
I do want to give him a little slack for the Madrid game though, because I do think Gahey was a little shell shocked.
Oh yeah.
Big, not even a little, big time shell shocked. Semenyo, you could say the same. Like decision making was off, commitment to tackles was off, passes, touches, like everything was just not going for them. And
that's a tough environment to get your first
of
UCL
course,
action.
for both of them
That's
to get
crazy.
their first Champions League appearances in their careers, to be at the fucking Bernabeu against Real Madrid in that atmosphere. Like I feel for them. I understand. But now we're at home, and we need to capitalize on that. And like that lineup we talked about, these players, like they need to reverse that feeling, that shell shock of, oh, we're at the Bernabeu in a Champions League night in a knockout round. They need to reverse that. Like now they're at home, fucking backs against the walls. Like this is the time. I keep having the fucking Rodri Ruben Diaz video from the documentary playing. It's like, this is where we get big. Like this is where they need to show why they fucking get paid big dollars. We pay huge transfer sums for these guys. and they're touted as some of the world's best, like this is the time to do it. Because this tie's not done. Like you said, it should be done. Vinny Jr. misses that penalty, he gives us 1% chance to go on and win it.
Mhm.
So this is the time where I want to see my team show that fire, that passion, and go do it. And like I've been saying, like throughout my time as a fan of this club, this has been a repeating thing. Like we don't do things easy. So this is why I can never say, oh, like we're out of it completely, down 3-0 to Real Madrid, because who am I to say that when I've seen fucking crazier things happen? So I do think we can go get the remontada. The mindset needs to be there. The fans need to be there. Pep needs to get it right. Everything basically needs to align for us, but the glimmer of hope is that sometimes things do align for us. So we go again.
Yeah. This is the one fixture where you can never predict it. It's been that way for 5 years. It's always got some crazy twist and tail, and because we actually don't have a city predicky for this one, because we're gonna do
one more.
Okay. One more.
The team that have scored first in this tie have never gone on in the tournament.
Wow. That's a crazy stat.
5 times.
That is a stat.
Every time the first team to score does not make it through to the next round.
That is the copium stat of all copium stats. It is worked for five straight meetings. Yeah, because we don't have a predicky for City. We'll do our EFL Cup prediction video, that whole preview. Let's do a predicky for this one, just to get the ball rolling with predickies, because City, that's the only game that we can do one for. So I'm gonna go 3-1 City. I think that you guys make it all the way back. I think so. Okay, there's 2 ways that goes. I either think that it's like an early one, and then they just randomly kind of put the game back on them, and we're like, oh shit, are City gonna do it? And they just fall short. Or it's the other way, which I kind of want to happen, just as a rival, which is you guys make it all the way back, and then something stupid happens. That's just the hater in me. So, and Vinny Jr.
Oh, it's Vinny. Yeah. See, I was gonna say 2-0.
2-0 Madrid.
2-0 City.
No, that's also
these are all very possible.
Yeah, and Cherokee just completing like 13 dribbles or something. You know what I mean? Doing what he can. Yeah, that's just funny. All
right, what's the scoreline that gets them through?
The only way we make it through is if we win 4-0. If we go to extra time or penalties, like it's not happening. So we have to win 4-0.
All right. Who's your man of the match?
Cherokee.
Okay. Cherokee. Good stuff. All right. United play. I just had it. Bournemouth on Friday. No more weekend games forever. I don't know. I think it's at Bournemouth. Let me make sure. Yes. Bournemouth haven't been good. United have been good. I don't know. This is a 5-day thing. So to that point, it could reassure some of our already talking points. But I feel good. I'm gonna go 2-0. Just because I don't think Bournemouth have scored or they've struggled.
They've struggled, yeah.
It's at Bournemouth, yeah. So 2-0, and Mbeumo's been poor, and I think he plays again. So I'm just gonna hope he gets better. So Mbeumo, 2-0.
3-1. And Bruno Fernandes
seems like a safe.
We'll get me more fantasy points. Yeah.
Let's go 2-1 United. Cunha man of the match.
Yeah. I didn't talk about it at all in any of my videos. He was like a true left winger today and did a decent job. I know he was playing against the center mid, but that kind of goes into it too. And then the last predicky, Chelsea traveled to Hill Dickinson Stadium. I always butcher that new name. It's just not as good as Goodison Park. To take on
Dickinson's a great name.
It's just not Goodison. So I can just I don't know.
The 90 minutes at the Hill Dickinson is a long.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Oh, guys, Mudrick is suspended. If you didn't know that.
Oh
Don't
shit!
fucking remind me. Can we? Is that'll be a segment for an international breaker when we're running out of shit to talk about? Or I'll have like 10 minutes saying like, I'll die on that hill, bro. He was about to come good. No, I'm dead serious. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea historically are awful at Goodison Park. That was always a bogey ground for us. I just think we definitely concede at least one goal from a corner. We can't defend those to save our lives, and they have like 8 different guys who are 6'5". So that worries me. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall revenge goal, book it. 2-1 Chelsea, please, for my sake, is what I'll hope for. And I'll also hope that Cole Palmer scores a goal. So there's some huge cope for that. That might be my last positive prediction of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-2. I don't know what you guys are doing midweek. That makes it difficult. So
something stupid.
who's your man of the match in a 0-0? Might just base it off of that.
David Moyes.
Masterclass.
That's a great question, Dylan. Who is my man of the
Pickford.
match? No.
In a 0-0, who's your man of the match?
It's got to
Pickford
be
pulls
Robert
off at least a
Sanchez.
worldie. Oh,
It's got to be
us
Robert
getting
Sanchez.
peppered
Yeah,
would be
that's fair.
hilarious. So that would be great.
No, this is I don't know. No, it'll probably be
Pickford.
Yeah.
It's going to be a keeper.
Yeah, it's got to be a keeper. And I think Pickford against Chelsea's lackluster finishing and shot selection, I think he'll have a field day.
Yeah, I'm going with Njai just because I don't know where the right side of Chelsea's team is going to be come that game. I don't know what it is.
Game.
He's so sick.
He's sick.
I'm a huge
No, streets won't forget non-impactor of game.
Nah, bro, if he's playing for Everton, give him a break.
That's the definition.
Do you think it translates? Do you think it
What?
translates if he got a big move, or do you think it would be same level?
To where?
I'd hope that United make a
Chelsea, for example.
No,
he's too old. He's too old.
Oh,
you can't get him at Chelsea.
Oh, damn it!
If he went to United and was their left wing deputy,
dude,
does that make you feel any better?
I think he's really good.
We'll be screwed if AFCON's in the summer now. We're never on. We're good.
Yeah, in the summer.
I think AFCON's getting moved to the summer.
No, they switched it to every 4 years. I don't know if they switched it to summer.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to worry until he's 30. Cool.
No worries for next season. Nothing's going on next season.
If he went to United, let's say that's the stepping stone.
Yeah, I think he's disgusting. I think he's disgusting. I think he's so good.
I agree. I think he's wicked. But I also
we're starved of hoops
I can
in the
see
Prem right
I
now.
can
That's
see
what
what Mila's talking about. I can see what he's
I get it. I get it.
Grant loves these types of players.
The Kudus
Listen, man.
Njai mold, yeah.
I think Njai's better than Kudus.
I
agree with that.
I mean, you look at my wing options, Mila. You have more sympathy and understanding for my perspective on players. Oh, dribble complete.
Well, I'm getting tired.
Get him on the team.
I have to hear you praise some of these men.
I'm seeing revisionism on fucking Jadon Sancho's Chelsea tenure. That's how dark it is right now. People are talking about, man, we used to have a competent winger.
So
like, bro, he wouldn't take a shot for 12 games. Bro.
I'm still mad at you about Yao Pedro. So
what? don't piss me off.
He didn't even. It's funny because João Pedro's literally has. I just that's the one take I haven't. I don't understand.
He's not a big game player. This has been my point.
We'll get into that.
Every fucking important game he fucking disappears.
We're already in an hour and 13, and we'll get into that one in another pod. That'll be one of our rage baiting pods during the international break when we're all just rage baiting each other because we're bored. Yeah, that'll
you guys
be the
can
one.
Shit on. I see. I don't even have the urge to defend any of these guys anymore. I really don't care. Like
this is good though. You shouldn't be defend. This is the cycle. If you defend them,
I mean, I like the player. I think
once
he's been
you
one
guys
of our
give
best
up
players
on them,
this
there's
season.
no one tying them to the club.
Yeah, I have no urge to put my heart on the line for these fucking guys right now. Yeah, I got nothing.
Fair. Well, last little plug here. 365. I checked to make sure. So thank you guys. It's really cool. And continue to sub and comment and subscribe and whatever. All that fun stuff. If you want to see me and Mila get Mila get more mad and me get really mad, you can check out Clash of Cosmos. We're going to talk about the Galaxy losing to one of the worst teams I've ever seen. It's super fucking fun.
You guys played Tottenham?
Pretty close. Pretty fucking close. We lost. Fucking losers. Fucking loser. Stupid. I'll get into that later with Mila. Anyways, that's Mila. That's Grant. I'm Dylan. We've been Clash of Clubs. This has been episode 90, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Words for him. Different gravy. Glorious goal. Wreathed in red. We're really seeing the most extraordinary finish here. On this day of days, has he delivered? Just magnificent. Potentially life-changing. That's football. Minute you let it under your skin, then you begin to make it better.